Hey guys, welcome back to another Japan Frequently Asked Questions. This is number 2. Sorry it took so long to get this, but I was in the middle of moving, so that was a lot of work. But I'm back now, so let's go ahead and just hop into some questions that I've been getting. My most recent question that I get the most is, can I become a manga or anime artist in Japan? Well, right now I'm going to let you know that there are 0 foreigners that do anime or manga in Japan. So if you were able to do it, you would be the first. The one thing you've got to realize if you're interested in doing that is, do you speak fluent Japanese? Do you write fluent Japanese? And can you read fluent Japanese? If you cannot do any of those, then it's not going to happen, okay? It's a pipe dream. It's really difficult to get into that business, and it does not pay a lot. Also, realize your knowledge of kanji, hiragana, katakana has to be perfect, and your grammar has to be perfect. And not only does your Japanese skills have to be great, but you also have to be a great writer in Japanese as well. Just being a great artist is not going to cut it in Japan. There's a lot of great artists here, so sorry if I killed the dream for some people, but it really is difficult to get into, and there are 0 foreigners that are manga or anime artists. Okay. Okay, the next question that I get a lot is questions about tattoos. How are tattoos received in Japan? If you've researched a little bit about Japan, you know that tattoos are commonly associated with gangs or gang activity, more so than they would be in Western countries. Usually only Yakuza or Bosozoku or other well-known Japanese gangs such as those are covered in full body tattoos or even have any tattooing at all. For the most part, many Japanese people shy away from getting tattoos due to the fact that they have a gang element attached to them. Now, as a gaijin or a foreigner, you've got to remember that it's going to be received a little bit differently because they know obviously you're not a Yakuza, you're not a Bosozoku, you're not part of a Japanese gang. But it's still taboo in some areas. Such things as onsens, hot springs, going to gyms, surprisingly. They want you to cover them up most of the time. And some very nice restaurants don't accept people with tattoos. And pretty much there's nothing that will stop them from denying you access to a place due to tattoo or even being foreigner for that matter. So realize you will run into some problems with your tattoos or even just being a foreigner. For the most part, people are accepting of gaijin having tattoos or foreigners having tattoos. The only time you really run into problem with having tattoos is sometimes with the older generation here tend to be taken aback by the appearance of tattoos or what they've always meant to them throughout their life, since it's always had a gang element to it. So don't be surprised if older people are a bit uncomfortable or perhaps a bit scared of a foreigner who is covered heavily in tattoos like myself. But really it's nothing I would worry about too much. If you get a work visa here and are working, you're definitely going to have to keep those tattoos covered up at all times. Even during the summer I have to wear long sleeves to cover mine up. So do realize it's an element you want to keep hidden from your work or your job, because they're kind of frowned upon at any job here. Okay? Alright, final question, one that I get a lot, is can I become a Japanese citizen? That's a good question. That's actually something I'm attempting to do myself. I've already lived here going now on 3 years, and after 7 years I can actually apply for citizenship, and anyone else who lives here for 7 years, whether it be student, work visa, spouse visa, whatever keeps you here legally for 7 years will then allow you to become a citizen of Japan. Afterwards, you're going to have to change your name to kanji. Okay, it'd still be the same name, but spelled via kanji. That's kind of interesting. You have to renounce your citizenship of your own country, and you then receive a Japanese passport and Japanese citizenship. I've heard the process is pretty easy, and it just requires that you prove that you have lived here for 7 years, which usually you can do through a visa or even a resident visa or resident status. So definitely not difficult to do as long as you can keep yourself here for 7 years, and very possible. Something I'm going to attempt to do myself. So as that process continues, I'll let you know step by step what I'm doing to become a Japanese citizen, but it's still going to be over the next 4 years, so it's going to be a long process. Okay, that's it for That's it for this episode of Japan Frequently Asked Questions. Please keep sending me your comments and your questions, good or bad. Love to hear it, love to answer your questions. I promise to be a lot faster from now on with answering these now that I'm moved. So keep sending them my way, and I'll see you next time on Japan's Frequently Asked Questions.
スコットさん、あなたはめちゃかっこいいな。
Thank you.
そうだね。